I was being called out for. I don't understand how Friends is so popular. And then I was telling everyone like, there's no snobbery from me. I've watched more TV than everyone in this building combined. More sitcoms, I should say. Like, I don't like Hardy watches movies. Like, I for years never watched movies. I never watched, and almost every show I watch is in syndication. So if it was in syndication, it's 22 minutes long, 24 minutes long. I can tell you. So I can't make a list. So I just Googled 80s and 90s sitcoms. If you have a question about the sitcom, I will answer it for you. If you can think of any, I will tell you if I watched them all.
Okay.
Growing Pains, I've seen them all. Yes, I own them on DVD.
Okay.
One of the first episodes is a Christmas episode. Their first Christmas episode. Mr. Seaver is a psychiatrist. Obviously, he's does his therapy in the house because the mom has gone back to the newspaper business. And a man stands on the roof, the whole episode threatening to kill himself. And at the end, they have cookies with him in the kitchen.
Can you tell me about the Growing Pains episode with Matthew Perry?
Oh, yeah. Drugs. Seinfeld.
What crime did he commit in that episode?
He was drugs.
It says here that he drove drunk.
Yeah, drugs.
Okay.
He died. He died in a drunk driving accident.
I cannot accept that as a correct answer.
He died in a drunk driving. My hands are empty. He died. I don't have my phone in my hand. He died in a drunk driving accident, sending Tracy Gould over the top. She couldn't take it.
Oh, okay.
Read. He died in a drunk driving accident.
All right. Moving on from Growing Pains.
Yeah,
What
Mike
else?
did have to break the news. Seinfeld, obviously. I've seen everyone. Married with Children, no way. There's no way. There's so many of them. And they're all the same. Now, did I use them as a child?
Yeah,
when
Jessica Hahn showed up. Sure.
They would have porn stars. How many times do you think the guys that ran that show were casting based on who would sleep with them?
You think?
I think occasionally. Full House, as I've told you, I've made several runs through that show. Once with my daughter.
Could you do trivia with Seinfeld, or you just see like every episode once and then?
I could do trivia with Seinfeld, but there are people that like study the scripts and then it gets like a little over my head.
Right.
It's
Like,
more of a passive activity.
Do you know, like, this is a great one. I think a lot of Seinfeld fans know. Do you know the name of George's two made-up horses when they're driving out to the Hamptons and he's continuing the lie with Susan's parents that he?
No, I know. And then they end up driving all the way out to the Hamptons.
Yeah,
and they get out of the car and he goes,
What are your horses' names, George? And he says, Snoopy and Prickly Pete. Thank you.
Who's the boss? Yes. What's my best who's the boss analogy? It is a young Delta Burke comes over in one of the early episodes to seduce our young housekeeper.
I've seen that one.
And she is in a full body stocking and hachi-machi. Delta before she got fat was all right.
Yep.
The Wonder Years, yes, I've seen everyone. I wouldn't call that a sitcom so much, though. Saved by the Bell. These questions.
How about
The Simpsons? No, obviously not. I've not seen every one. Family Ties, I've seen every Family Ties, including learning that you could drink cherry, the maraschino cherry juice if you were Tom Hanks and you wanted to, and you were just so over the moon alcoholic, you needed something with a little alcohol in it. Roseanne, I've seen every Roseanne, including the creepy one at the last one, where the last 3 years of the show were just her making it up after Dan died. About when they won the lottery and everything.
Yeah.
Don't you guys remember?
I do remember that. Yes.
Silver Spoons, I've seen every Silver Spoons. There's no question about it. Including young Jason Bateman coming over and trying to seduce Miss Gray when he would wear the cowboy hats. A little creepy. Call him the Rickster.
What was Mallory's boyfriend's name in Family Ties?
The Artist?
Yes.
Okay. The Artist. Oh, boy.
I'm not. I don't think this is a tough one.
It's not tough. It's because it was much to Skippy's dismay. The artist's name was, oh, boy, it was one name. He had a big hoop earring, and he made art out of trash. What was his name? Nick?
Nick Moore. Very good.
Wow. What a pull that was.
I didn't get any help.
Well done.
I have not seen every Cheers. I've seen every Family Matters.
Oh.
I have to imagine. because I've seen them when they went to space, which I believe was the last one. Mama's Family, I would not watch. I've not seen one episode of Mama's Family. A Different World, I've not seen every episode. It's unwatchable. I watched A Different World like 2 weeks ago. It was on one, and I tried to give it a spin.
How about Small Wonder?
Who knows if I saw every Small Wonder?
How about Wings, Fred?
Did you see one episode of Small Wonder?
Yeah, it used to be on Sunday nights right before.
That was the little robot girl, right?
Yeah. The guy it's a perfectly normal story. The guy works for the government. He makes a robot young girl, and he puts her in the closet, and she's animatronic. He could have made any robot that he wanted to, and he could have used it for any purposes, but he made a little girl to raise. I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it makes all the sense of the world.
Not a problematic storyline then or now.
No,
It's
he had a boy.
absolutely
He had a
fine.
boy around the same age. They
Yeah.
got along great.
Yeah.
The Golden Girls, please. When
Every episode.
Oh, good. There's no doubt about it. I also saw the Golden Palace, the short-lived spinoff.
Cheech Marin's in that one,
but
yeah.
no B. Arthur. He took the B. Arthur role. Also in that is the guy from the famous actor from Crash and stuff. The Cosby Show, obviously. I've seen every episode. I probably saw him in order. Charles in Charge.
Let me ask you a
I've
question,
seen every
Fred.
episode. Doogie Howser, I've seen every episode twice.
From the Golden Girls, season 1, episode 4, entitled
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Transplant, Blanche's sister, Virginia, shows up and reveals that she needs what to save her life?
A kidney transplant.
That's correct.
My God.
I mean, I kind of gave it away with the episode name, but it could have been any
What was the
number of
episode
things.
name?
Transplant. But you did know that it was a
you
kidney
gave me
transplant.
yeah, it was a kidney transplant.
But it's
oh my stars, I don't know what to do. I don't know, honey. Should I give my? And you know what's funny is they were Wallach's age, and that's not a lie.
all of them?
Pretty much. And the youngest one was, of course, the oldest one.
Right,
Sure.
because she was all done up with the makeup.
How old was the youngest one?
All right. The Golden Girls aired from 85 to 92.
Is it the Wilford Brimley rule?
Estelle Getty.
So
In 1985, Estelle Getty was.
this is what I remember about Golden Girls. As they were portrayed on the show, the oldest
She was 59.
one, the oldest one was actually the youngest, and the youngest one portrayed the oldest.
Yeah, Estelle Getty was the youngest.
You were about to scare the living crap out of me. Thank God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. She was a little older than you.
Man. The Wilford Brimley rule, Hardy.
Oh, I know about, and I think I am as old right now as Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon.
In The Natural. That's how I judge it. How old he was in The Natural. And it turns out he was younger in The Natural than I am now.
Stanley was 52 when the pilot shot.
Oh, my God.
Fred, you are as old as Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon.
Fair enough.
49 years old.
And look at how great I look. Well, you guys are as old as Stanley was.
Gosh.
Perfect Strangers didn't realize it was a Family Matters was a spinoff of that until like 6 months ago. Perfect Strangers was a loose spinoff. They kind of forced that was a forced thing. But they were both set in Chicago.
No, the Golden Girls thing. I suddenly feel much better this morning. Thank you.
Well, you were like Stanley. Stanley!
Yep.
Stanley, he would show up every now and again, and B. Arthur would be like, "What do you want?" And he'd be like, "I need a Merkin." All right, very good. Wow. So that's just touching the very, very tip of what I'm capable of. I know a lot about situational comedies, my friends. A lot.
I can only do it with Seinfeld and the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, I always thought it was Andy Griffin.
No, it's not.
But I've learned. Now I've moved on. All right, we'll be right back.